About It Thursday with Bishop Aaron Williams. Thank you for watching the premiere episode of this new venture I'm starting this year and taking it to 2025, where every Thursday I'll be coming on here or dropping a video of what we're going to be talking about in My Father's Business Fellowship on Sunday, and has to do with the soul. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about this year 2024 and what's going to be moving forward for us, the ministry, going into the new year 2025. This year was a very different year for me. For the first time in my life, I went to the hospital. I had a major surgery, and I thank God for my wife, my kids, my family, my friends, my loved one, the surgeon, and everything is going well. I had it in March, on March 3rd. I recovered well. I thank for my godson, my son Paul, for coming down and supporting me away from Virginia. I thank God for his love. I thank God for the church and their prayers. But I recovered well. But it was a precursor to what was going to happen going forward. When I had the surgery, I was down for 6 weeks, and I was able to do a lot of thinking, a lot of reflecting, and I decided that I went and finished out the year, and then on August 5th, I retired as a school teacher after 12 years of serving the community as a school teacher. And I thank God for those years of service. I thank God for the children. I thank God for them blessing me. They taught me way more than I've ever taught them. They taught me love. They taught me grace. They taught me mercy. They taught me how to listen and how to care. They taught me how to be present. They taught me how sometimes you might not have the answer, but many times you don't need the answer. It's just presence. Those children taught me so much about love and grace and tenderness and kindness, so something that's so missing in our society, particularly in this moment right now. And so I just thank God for those 12 years of service that went by extremely fast. So August 5th, I retired. That was a tough day for me. The first time in 12 years I didn't have a first day of school, and I felt it deeply in my soul. But we moved forward. So I've been retired since August 5th, and so last Thursday I had a beautiful retirement party ceremony with some great friends. Mr. Neal, Miss Bradley, Mr. Barkley, Archbishop Iris Bay came from Houston. Had a family member, James family came from Houston to celebrate with us. Doc Davis here, my good friend. I just thank God for them. I thank God. I hope I'm not missing anybody. And of course, my wife and my kids was there. People who I love, people who I care, and my new friend Keith from the VFW was there. I just thank God for them, and that really solidified for me that my retirement was the right time, because in September, October, I went on the computer and I started filling out the application. I started saying, let me do something, let me substitute something, and I heard a voice say, "What do you know? What are you doing? I'm taking off this job. I moved you forward. What are you doing? Why are you trying to do something that you know that the chapter is closed?" Many times we know how to start things. Some of us don't know how to close a chapter. The show's a clap chapter. And so that chapter is closed for me, and I thank God for it. But the new chapter, I'm saying I'm retired because I'm retired in the military, retired from the United States Navy, retired from school teaching now, but I'm not retired in the sense of I'm not doing nothing. The work has just begun. The journey really has just begun to build the kingdom of God, to not be distracted, not to have any other thing but to take care of family, take care of my household, take care of the ministry that God has given me. The work is still incomplete. In the world we live in now, we need people that's about the Father's business. So going forth, you're going to have these Thursday let's talk about on Thursday with Bishop, as I go into Bishop Awill, as I go into what I'm going to talk about this Sunday. What I'm going to talk about this Sunday going to carry us for the new year, the soul. What I learned in teaching is this, and Pastor James really brought it home in our 18th church anniversary service last week, when he talked about how disciples on the boat, and they had went back to what Jesus had died and resurrected, and they didn't know it, and they went back to their former lives, and they went back to doing the things they knew, and they worked all night. They toiled. They sweated, and they didn't catch any fish. These weren't people who were just fishing like me. I'm not a fisherman. These were fishermen. These were professional fishers. They knew what they was doing, but they didn't catch anything. And then a man from the shore said, cast the net on the other side, cast the net on the right side. And they cast the net on the right side, and the net was so full it barely could hold there's so many fish. Um, and many times we just casting our nets on the wrong side. And he, the man on the beach, turned a night of hopelessness into a day of dawn of hope. What I learned in teaching, what I've learned in my life is our number one duty is to always leave somebody with hope. Because hope gives a person a sense of, I still have a chance. I still have an opportunity. I still can keep going. I can't walk like I could before the surgery, but I can still walk. The surgery gave me hope that I can keep moving. And the kids taught me that no matter what our issue is, no matter what our hangups are, no matter what our agendas are, conservative, liberal, independent, whatever you are, you should always leave somebody with hope. Because hope is what's going to carry us through in this time. And I believe we are the last best hope. So God has inspired me through, people I'm meeting to begin a soul tribe, to talk about the soul, to talk about a place that we all have within us, but that we very rarely search out. Because there's a place that's so indwelled, so immersed inside of us, because we got all this outside stuff we forget about. We forget and don't understand that our soul will never die. And we need a soul tribe. We need a tribe that really understand that this is bigger than me. That this is bigger than what I want. That a person that God has in my life is a soul. And that soul needs somebody who cares about their soul, their eternal outcome, their eternal situation, their where they're going to be in eternity. And I just thank God for the soul tribe that's building, because we're going to build a soul tribe that's rooted and grounded in what God breathed into Adam, his breath of life, the soul. When you give people hope, when you give people a sense of dawn is still going to break, in the darkness is when the light is needed the most. And this Sunday, we're going to talk about a great soulship. Not a friendship, I said it right, a great soulship, where the soul was so connected that it changed the history of the world. It comes from a place where, a person gave up because he could see eternally in a temporal situation. And some of us, we just can only see right before us. We need to understand the soul, and the soul of our lives need to be awakened like Adam was awakened when the Creator breathed in him the breath of life. So I'm gonna post this. It's gonna be on my page. I'm posting on Bishop Brothers page. I'm gonna put the Zoom link if you want to tap in, and we want to build our Zoom community. Last week we had problems with it, but we're gonna get it back online. I know my wife's gonna make sure that happens, but we're gonna get it back online, because we're going to build a Zoom community where people can tap into this soul preaching, and because the soul is so valuable, and it's missing the breath of life, our soul connection. We connect in so many other ways except through the soul. So you can tap into Zoom. If you're in San Antonio, you can join us at the Chapel of My Father's Business Fellowship. And going to next year, 2025, my next book is coming out. I'm so about it. The title is going to be Grief and Grace. Our grief, His grace. Grief and grace. Our grief, His grace. It's going to be coming around March, springtime, and then late summer and the fall. The saga going to continue with this story. Bet and Cato are going to have their next adventure. I'm excited about that. So there's a lot of good things coming down. I'll be with you every Thursday, dropping a video, telling you about the content, taking about our next message, and make sure, please, you follow, you share the video, and please join us on our Zoom. It starts at 9 a.m. for our Sunday School Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. For our morning worship service, Central Standard Time, every Sunday at the chapel and My Father's Business Fellowship. God bless you. Thank you for watching this premiere episode. I'm excited about it. I appreciate you. and our souls are connected for the kingdom of God. God bless you.